this second segment of the show for today. We're talking to the governor of Abia State in Nigeria, Governor OKalu. And of course, Governor Kalu, before we had our first commercial break, we promised that we'd give you an opportunity to talk about your state, about Abia State and about your governorship there. And after that, we'll talk about some additional things dealing with economics and political reform that we understand that you're interested in trying to bring about.
Yes, my state is in the eastern part of Nigeria and bordered on the other side of it by a state called Rivers. At the far south west of it, a state called Akwa Ibom. And on the eastern part of it, Imo, Anambra, and Enugu State, and far north, Ebonyi. So you find out that we are a vibrant state, and when I came there, was virtually breakdown or break of infrastructural development. There was nothing on ground to show that the government can move forward, and we are doing everything possible that we can be able to give people access to road. We give people free education, free health care, and make sure that the life and property of the people. When I came, the rule of law was zero, and to me, if there's no rule of law where people can obtain justice, there should not be no system. So these are the fundamental things we have been following up to be able to move the state forward.
You know, Governor, one of the things that we've always been intrigued by is the fact that individuals like you can have a vision of that would build a state out of virtual chaos, as you yourself have admitted. What drives you, or what motivates you in order to try to do the things that you're trying to do? Not only are you trying to do it in your state, which you've improved since you started, but you're also looking toward a greater Nigeria in terms of doing it perhaps in the presidency after 2007. What motivates you? What makes you want to do the things that you do?
What genuinely drives me is my love for the people. Because as a young man who is self-fulfilled, achieved everything that I would like to achieve in terms of economically and otherwise. And I don't have any other job to do in my life than to give back to Nigeria what Nigeria has given back to me. And return back Nigeria to Nigerian people. That is my driving force. It's just the people. The people is my force.
The people are your passion. That's your passion. That's why you do things that you do, and that's why you want to become involved in greater responsibility. What about some of the young people? I mean, what are you finding about young people in the state of Abia in reference to what you have to do with them?
Young people have lost their young age because it is difficult now for new jobs to be created for them, excellent, because the economy is like much centered by the central government. And this is why really I want to be president, to break some of these genes that are not broken, to make sure that we put things in the right perspective, the way it should be, to show Nigerian people a new foreign policy, foreign policy that will be able to accommodate other countries, foreign policy that will be able to address the issue of our brothers in Africa and also address our brothers beyond Africa and the international community. Foreign policy that will bring greater respect for Nigerian people and also give honor to our friendly nations like United States and Britain. So it's a foreign policy that will be open, that will be good for the holder and beholder. It will be good for Nigeria and it will be good for the other countries. And we want to look more about our international play, securing the Gulf of Guinea to make sure the Gulf of Guinea is safe. Look at what happened in New Orleans. Look at, I mean, it's a sad issue to see lots of people dying like that. In fact, my heart every day bleeds seeing human being. But also I give praises. People might think it's slow. It's not slow, but President Bush has done very well also in answering to that call, because it's a very difficult call. Many people will blame the president. Yes, but he has done well. So far, so good. Pumping out in the last 2 days another 51.8 billion is not a joke. And it's a commendable initiative that I call on all Africans, I call on all people to support what is happening in New Orleans and make some donations, because we have a Gulf like that. You see, the Gulf of Guinea is very important, not only for oil, but for the amount of water that interflow in that Gulf. So it will be our foreign policy to make sure that we protect that Gulf and give helping hand to our brothers in Darfur, in Sudan, and Liberia, Rwanda, and all the rest of them. Our foreign policy have to be broad-based, where everybody will be accommodated, where interests will be common. Interests of fighting terrorism, interests of establishing medium-scale business, interests of seeing that we join genuinely in the Committee of Nations, not just being a nation. I'd like to see Nigeria to be a strong partner to the United States, to be a strong partner to Canada, to be a strong partner to Britain, to be a strong partner to Austria. So Australia and all the rest of them, so that we can be a major voice in the emerging world. That is the kind of Nigeria I would like to see, where transparency and honesty will be the key to development. Because if there is no transparency, there will be no development. But if there is transparency and good governance, there will be job creation. The younger ones will have access to good job. We don't need to belittle our youth. Well-educated youths are there without jobs. You cannot continue running an economy where there are no refineries, where there are nothing to be able to move the economy forward. So we must build new industries and new additional partnership to bring in foreign direct investment so that we can be able to widen our scope of development.
Governor, we're getting ready for our second commercial break. But before we get there, let's see if we, over this last period, that we can have you to deal with your visit here to Nashville, because I think that since you're dealing with foreign policy and making contact with other states and et cetera, I think that it will be instructive to us in Tennessee to find out exactly what your experiences were here and some of the prospects and some of the visions that you have in terms of trying to make some kind of arrangement, some kind of connection between the state of Tennessee, for example, in Abia State, and of course, if you are successful in becoming the president, with the whole state of whole nation of Nigeria, you see. And so what we'll do after this second commercial break, we'll come back and give you an opportunity to talk about your visit here and what that has meant to you and what it will mean to your foreign policy. And we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. Thank you and welcome back.